So, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our next speaker. I'm delighted to invite on the stage Gurhan Kalilioglu, who is the VP Oracle Digital Sales Technology of the EMEA region. Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be here talking about cloud strategies. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gurhan Kalilioglu.
Dear distinguished guests, thank you, Baxter. You say my name very correctly, by the way, so it's a challenge. As you can guess from my name, I am Turkish, but based in Dubai almost 3 years now. Today I try to be non-technical, so I see so many SME companies in this room. How many of you using any cloud services? Only few, I see. So still we need to do a lot of things, it looks like. So it's good that I think we need to discuss a little bit about the cloud and strategies. So it's an interesting starting slide. 250,000 mid-sized firms will start using infrastructure as a service and platform as a service in next 24 months in entire EMEA. So this indicates there's a big transformation will be happening soon. And by 2019, 80% of companies with different type of applications will be using collaboration, departmental, even compute server. So that will be a big change for most of the companies' day-to-day lives. So they won't accomplish this without any help, without any advice, without any transformation partners. So as Oracle, we will be acting as your transformation partners in this journey. So when I see Baxter, I feel this time stress, so that's why I try to be a bit accelerating. So if you look at the pyramid from a different view, 99% of business in the EMEA is coming from micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise, up to 499, 500 employees. So, and 2/3 of formal jobs and 80% of informal, because in some countries, unfortunately, registration is not very well done. So being done informally, and 80% of the jobs currently provided by SMEs. So mid-market is the target area for companies like Oracle for cloud, but there is no official definition of mid-market. There are so many different explanations. SME is a term with legal definition, but also it varies from country to country. So you see so many different definitions. It's a very crowded slide, but you can see, for example, UAE, it is based on Dubai data, varies by industry. If you look at between different industries, between 10 or 20 employees and 2.6 million euro annual turnover is the criteria for being micro. But I think Dubai is one of the most advanced ones. When I say UAE, it's basically referring to Dubai data. But if you go to Saudi, only 2 people is accepted as SOHO. So it looks like a very different definition. European Union definition is quite straightforward. Turkey follows more or less similar to EU definition. But it looks like there is no single definition of mid-market among countries. But I think this is an interesting slide. If you look at the addressable market, who can be the real first companies who might like to use the cloud services, if you look at typical ICT budget of an SME or mid-market company is between 1.5 and 6%, depending on the industry. Some like the technology companies, tech startups, or biomedical companies can be using much higher ratio. And typically 70% of them is externally spent, so which means a lot of money spent for external companies or providers. And yes, and PaaS is typically only 4% of external ICT budget. So in a typical 10 million euro turnover company, between 4K or 17K can be spent on cloud services. So it is not a big money. So you can start anywhere this journey because it's a big transformation and you will get a lot of advantages of starting to using the cloud services for different purposes, for different applications. Only 4K, 5K, 10K. And it might not be as expensive as MBA. I mean, as I understand, MBA is an issue here, so, but it's not a bad number in terms of compared to some other costs that you are exposed. So, another thing is, which is important for SMEs, okay, we go to cloud, but how my company staff will be utilizing that services? This is one of the biggest concerns that we observed. So lack of digital skills has harmed our business. This is the question asked in different countries in EMEA. And number of respondents who are agreeing is highest in UAE and Turkey and Italy, about 50%, and Germany. So I think UK is a bit different than the others, but if you look at SME companies in these countries, they say that yes, we need digital citizens, we need digital literate people in our organizations in order to be competent, in order to be competitive in our industries. It might not be the same ratio in every industry. Again, tech startups and some other SMBs might have different type of profiles, but this is still an issue in order to utilize effectively the cloud transformation. However, if you look at the other side of the picture, currently before cloud, there was on-premise, which you buy and install everything in your companies. The situation was even worse in that time. So there is a big improvement with the cloud in terms of getting the benefits of those services. Again, another discussion of mid-market. So we typically say medium-sized companies between 50 to 250 and 250 to 999 employees. And even any company less than 50, like IT, biotech, media, can be a good candidate for any cloud services. Of course, if you are two-people company and you want to utilize cloud services, you are more than welcome. But you might have different kind of challenge. But if you look at in this picture, if you are fitting in any of these range, I think it's already too late to initiate at least one service from cloud. So you should be more active and enthusiastic in terms of implementing cloud options. So another interesting slide is, again, comparing different countries. We said mid-market and medium-sized companies as proportion of all enterprises. United Arab Emirates is in a very unique position in this, and together with Qatar, they are almost 18, 19, almost 20% of the total enterprises are in this scale. If you look at Italy, France, Spain, this percentage is much, much lower. The reason in UAE, typically, I think Soho market is very small. And also, in this statistics, we excluded multinational companies, subsidiaries, which are based in Dubai, because they can be less than 50 people, but in theory, it is not an SME, so we excluded those numbers. But even though after these exclusions, still these numbers showing UAE is one of the most important countries, together with Qatar, in terms of mid-market companies. Another interesting one in terms of the sharing workforce, share of workforce and value-added contribution. Again, 11%, or even though in UAE percentage of medium-sized companies is around 5%, but contribution to economy is 17%. You see different countries, different ratios. Another item that I want to articulate is the IT staff in your companies. So when you look at that one, this is also another point or another objection we face. But we don't have any people to implement these things, to run these things. Then this is the time for cloud. If you look at the companies, IT staff, you see some companies between 100 and 250 using a, I think there's a mistake in the slide when formatting. This left side is more for the Middle East, and the right side is for entire EMEA numbers. So we see a huge percentage still require having none or only one employee in their organization. So if you are fitting in any of those categories, that indicates the cloud services is very important for your IT transformation. So if I summarize these several bullets I discussed in the previous slide deck, you are craving digital fluency. You definitely might need some guidance and support, even though on the internet there are so many information available that you can collect and you can articulate, but still in the buyer journey you need some advisory services and you want everything in a simplified way. So this is what we observe. I think we need to explain everything in a simplified way, and the purchasing procedure shouldn't be time consuming. It should be very simplified, very straightforward. If you look at the preference based on verticals, we see different priorities in manufacturing, retail, professional services, and transportation areas. For example, in manufacturing, costs and profitability, up to date with new technology, and finding new clients could be critical. However, in professional services, there is another item which is securing data from online theft. It could be one of the top critical issues that they are facing. So if you look at, we need to have an approach based on the industry, based on the verticals that you are involved. So without ignoring the industry that you are working on, I think we will make a big mistake. Just one fits for all might not work in SMEs. So again, a similar discussion showing different percentages, different priorities, like in transportation and logistics, very different than the others. Shipment tracking and transit times assessments are the most critical business processes they want to improve. So these are the areas that we need to look at when we address your priorities. Again, top applications under considerations. If you look at history, ERP, HR, payroll, these are the typical applications that most companies prioritizing. However, in today, I cannot think any company without any HR or payroll or a basic ERP, let's say. So in that sense, the prioritization of ERP, accounting, HR is a bit low. Now everybody wants to increase their sales in order to make more profitable their own companies. So CRM and Salesforce automations are very, very key in nowadays. Also, we see tracking of assets, tracking of commodities, tracking of salespeople. These are also very critical applications. Marketing automation, project management, multimedia collaboration. These are the areas that's also becoming more and more important topics for any SMEs. So in terms of, again, we discussed the budgets, but if you look at, again, Midmarket's budget percentage, if you look at EBIT in financial services, we see more IaaS and PaaS investment, but together with software as a service, infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service, we see more or less at the left side, according to me, the percentage spent by Midmarkets in total external ICT budget. So it's not very big money, but there's a huge potential to make an increase in these numbers. So infrastructure as a service and platform as a service investment plans in different regions. I will not go over all of these slides, but in Middle East Africa, if you say Africa, North Africa is the one covered here, is the area in IaaS which has more potential, and also in PaaS together with Sub-Saharan Africa, again, which is having more potential, more the pace of investment in cloud services will be very strong in those geographies. So this is a critical one. I will focus on the Middle East and North Africa part of that slide. You might have different scenarios. When we go to the customers as in SME or in big clients, we typically see this kind of 4 scenarios. One of them, they say, okay, I want to keep a hybrid structure. I want to blend my public cloud and private cloud together. Yes, this is possible in Oracle. Private infrastructure, I just want to buy everything, but it should be in my own premise, but you can maintain, you can manage these platforms. Yes, this is possible also, and becoming a very common scenario nowadays. Another scenario is private infrastructure as a service, but single tenant managed by third party. Typically, it's provided by telco operators or some other Oracle channel partners that can be deployed in their premises, but managed by Oracle, but this is only dedicated to you. And the final one is public IaaS. You can be a part of the entire Oracle Cloud, and you can be using the services. So all 4 scenarios, whatever scenario you consider, we have a story for that. So we might easily address those problems. So you need an advice, you need some references. So in terms of you, trust is very important. So you need to get strong reference, or whoever is doing this before you is very important topic before you make investments, because your money is very valuable, especially nowadays. Everybody's money is valuable, but you should be making your investments in a very careful way. Self-service, everybody say, oh, you can do many things on internet, you can do self-service, but in reality, it might not fly, what we observe so far. So you might need to get someone's little help or little push, and channel partners are necessary from Oracle perspective and from your perspective, which means that some companies in IT who are catalysts to implement those type of solutions in your organization. It can be telco companies, it can be IT integrators. So as I say, as Oracle, we can address all your requirements. So it looks like, you know, in chemistry there was a periodic table, so it looks like that it shouldn't scare you. We have a palette of digital capabilities which can address all kind of requirements from infrastructure, platform, and software as a service. So you can just select your own journey. Whatever area you want to invest, whatever area you want to focus, you can select accordingly. So, as I say, Oracle has now a little bit commercials advertisement. Oracle has the complete solution. We have the best-in-class cloud portfolio. It is very innovative. It can understand your own industry's realities, and it can provide you a personalized engagement. And it's proven, it's trusted, it's very well respected solutions, and secure, which is very important, secure and scalable. So another question, where we will start? I mean, because I saw only less than 10 companies had any cloud experience in this whole room. So maybe the others might be asking where we will start. The answer is very simple. Anywhere you want. So you can start with baby steps now with some small projects in some departments. And after that, you can extend when you see the success, the returns from those areas. And as a summary, we provide best-in-class applications, broader set of integrated platform as a service, infrastructure as a service solutions. They are seamlessly integrated. We can have all kinds of scenarios, public, private, hybrid, and you can start, as I say, whenever, wherever you want. So this is the summary of my presentation. I hope I didn't pass my time. So I don't know, do we have any Q&A here? Or if not, we have a booth behind the wall, and our team is there to answer your questions. Miguel Lasprilla, maybe Miguel, you can stand up. If you have any more technical question, Miguel is here whole day to help you. So thank you for your patience before lunchtime, and enjoy your day, and see you in another event or in another occasion. Thank you.